It was daytime, and somewhere on the island was located the Great Hall. Warner, subordinate of the Marshal Saint Harold, arrived at the island. But as soon as he arrived, someone gave him a powerful blow to the stomach, making his body shoot backward, leaving a trail of energy. The blow was so powerful that he couldn't help but open his mouth and start bleeding. Warner's body fell several meters back, he placed his hand on his chest, and his eyes widened in fear. He finally realized that the Society of Black Magic had allied with Darkstar from the beginning. Just before Warner could have another thought, someone attacked with a powerful energy projectile, piercing Warner's head as if it were a melon and thus killing him instantly. It was the man with angel wings that we saw before. He had fired an energy projectile from his finger and now smoke was coming out of it. Warner's body fell to the ground. The man closed his eyes and could not help but clench his teeth since according to him they were very weak. He and Lay were in front of the Great Hall and behind them was a mountain of corpses. Just then, a powerful thunder descended from the sky onto the island. Feeling this, the man with angel wings turned around and his gaze fixed on the thunder. He could not help but smile upon seeing that he had returned. Lay started adjusting his glasses with his finger and an excited smile spread across his face upon seeing that Harold had returned. A powerful martial spirit surrounded by a powerful energy and Harold's men began to run toward the Great Hall. Within the spirit was the marshal. He started pointing at Lay with his finger and could not help but become enraged upon seeing that they had massacred his men and destroyed part of the island. It did not take him long to realize that Darkstar and the Black Magic Society had joined forces. He was so furious that even if he killed them 1,000 times, it would not be enough. Upon hearing this, the man with angel wings began to gaze at the ground and couldn't help but smile. He used his power, causing his to transform into a powerful martial spirit with wings. He crossed his arms and, with a smile, mocked Harold, saying that everyone knew how to talk, challenging him to come and try to kill him if he had the guts. Consumed by hatred, Harold did not hold back and commanded his martial spirit to attack. While the spirit's eyes were glowing, it clenched its fists and began charging at the spirit. The spirit of the man with angel wings also started advancing quickly, ready to attack. The fists of the powerful martial spirits clashed against each other, creating a great wave of energy capable of blinding anyone and shattering the ground into pieces. Lay took off his glasses and his gaze fixed on Harold. His eyes began to shine with seriousness. He knew that he also had to fight because otherwise his friend was going to say that he had obtained credits without making any effort. Lay used his power, causing energy to begin to emerge from his body. His energy also manifested and transformed into a martial spirit, which began to stare at Harold. With a calm gaze, Lay began to point towards the sky and concentrated, releasing energy. He used his power, forming a stellar constellation in the sky, causing his martial spirit to raise its hand. And not long after, martial fire began to emerge from its body. The spirit began to point at Harold, causing a powerful energy to emerge from the stars and strike against Harold's martial spirit. It knelt down and put its arms over its head, beginning to roar in pain. Harold's men were also injured and 2 of them were lying on the ground. One of them, who had bruises on his face, propped himself up on the ground with the help of his arms and his gaze fixed on Lay's martial spirit. His eyes widened in surprise and fear. 2 martial saints were attacking Harold at the same time. So he thought that this time Golden Ring Island was going to be destroyed. The other man couldn't help but clench his teeth tightly and feel furious. Harold, who had his arms over his head and was defending himself from the attack, started observing Lay and soon realized that this was not good. One of the subordinates that Harold had brought clenched his fist in, with a desperate gaze, explained that the battle of the level 9 warriors was beyond their reach. Asking what to do now. They felt totally useless. Lay's gaze fixed on them. He extended his hand toward them and with a smile mentioned that now that they had come, they should also stay. He used his power, making his martial spirit attack with a powerful slap, which crushed 2 of the men in the blink of an eye, without giving them a chance to react. The attack was so powerful that they lost their lives. The remaining men fell on their butts to the ground and their eyes filled with fear. Now that Harold was busy fighting against 2 martial saints, everyone else was going to be massacred. Harold began to stare at Lay and with a furious expression revealed that he knew Darkstar and the Black Magic Society were secretly working together. He asked if they weren't ashamed to attack his base. While Lay's body was surrounded by energy, he extended his hand and his attention fixed on Harold. And with a smile he mentioned that Harold should remember that if one has the advantage to attack, one must do it to take the lead, revealing that even if today they couldn't kill him. After eliminating all the high-level warriors on the island, Harold would not be able to continue fighting for the energy crystals. At that moment, Lay's eyes widened in surprise as something caught his attention. Lu Shang left the laboratory and arrived at the Great Hall, which was filled with corpses, with a confident smile. Our boy began to walk toward Lay and the others. Lu Shang's eyes were shining with confidence, and his gaze was fixed on Harold. Lay couldn't help but feel confused upon seeing an Oriental on the Golden Ring Island, nor did he know why he was so confident, or why he wasn't afraid. Lu Shang did not change his attitude, which was an insult to Lay. He used his power, causing the hand of his martial spirit to begin descending upon Lu Shang. Our boy remained calm, started observing the spirit, and did not move. Just before the spirit could attack, Lu Shang raised a finger and placed it in front, making an intense glow emerge from it. Without much effort, our boy blocked the powerful attack of a martial saint using a finger, leaving everyone in shock. Lu Shang's eyes began to shine and his gaze fixed on Lay, with an arrogant smile. He asked if this wasn't interesting. Seeing that Lu Shang had blocked the attack of a martial saint with a simple finger, the jaw of Martial Saint Harold dropped and his eyes filled with surprise. According to him, this was impossible. Lay, who was inside the martial spirit, was speechless, and while he was trying to process the situation, Lu Shang moved like lightning and in an instant appeared in front of him and began to stare at him. Just before Lay had time to react, Lu Shang reached out toward him and used his power, shattering his martial spirit into pieces as if it were glass. Lu Shang's attack struck Lay's chest, sending his body flying out of the martial spirit. His eyes widened in fear and confusion as he did not know how it was possible for someone so strong to exist. The spirit of the man with angel wings was flying, while on the other side, Harold's was crouching on the ground. Lu Shang's attack was so powerful that Lay's body was sent flying several kilometers backward and crashed forcefully into the sea. Lu Shang's body, who was flying, began to emit golden energy. The muscular man's gaze fixed on him. He was speechless upon seeing that Lay had been defeated with a single blow. With an expression full of fear, he asked who Lu Shang was and where he had come from. Lu Shang's eyes began to shine with hatred. He turned towards them and, with a piercing gaze, proclaimed himself as God. Upon hearing this, the two martial saints began to observe Lu Shang in silence, creating tension. The attention of Harold's subordinates, who was still alive, was fixed on Lu Shang. Their eyes widened in surprise and confusion. They were in shock, not knowing if he was really a god. They could not believe that Professor Nepson's ridiculous deception was real. Professor Nepson also left the laboratory and arrived at the Great Hall. He placed a hand on the pillar and began to observe Lu Shang. He was open-mouthed upon seeing that Lu Shang had defeated a martial saint with a single blow. According to him, this god had great power. The devout Nepson fell to his knees on the ground and extended his hands. For him, Lu Shang was the true god, and under his power, even the martial saints would disappear until they turned to ashes. Lu Shang was equal to the god he had seen in his dreams. Lucia appeared behind him, knelt before Lu Shang, and her eyes filled with amazement upon seeing that this was real and not an illusion. She was seeing a god with her own eyes. The man with angel wings and Harold deactivated their martial spirits and their attention fixed on Lu Shang. Both were in shock, not knowing what to do. Lu Shang turned towards them, began to show a finger, and with a penetrating gaze made it clear that of the two, only one could live. Upon hearing this, Harold's and the man with angel wings' eyes widened in surprise and confusion. They could not believe that someone dared to mock them in this way. Consumed by hatred, the man with angel wings clenched his teeth, thinking that this was a bad joke. Then he extended his hand and began to gather energy. His eyes began to shine with determination. Once he finished gathering energy, he extended his hand towards Lu Shang and launched a powerful energy arrow at him, revealing that the one who was going to die was Lu Shang. As the energy arrow was slowly approaching, our boy remained silent. Lu Shang prepared to counterattack. Extended his hand towards him and used the technique he had learned called cutting the sky, causing a powerful golden energy to emerge from his hand, sweeping away the energy arrow. Just before the man with angel wings had time to react, Lu Shang's attack reached him and cut his waist in half, separating his body into two. His eyes widened in fear, as he did not know how it was possible that someone like him had been defeated with a single attack. Then, the powerful martial spirit of Master Ding Kai Yu appeared in the sky and slowly began to fade away. Harold fell to his knees on the ground, lowered his head before Lu Shang, clenched his teeth, and showed respect for him, explaining that now that one of them had been eliminated, there was no need to kill him as well. Lu Shang descended to the ground and began to observe Harold in silence. With a cold gaze, he made it clear that even level 9 martial masters were still human and therefore could feel fear. Revealing that in reality, he never intended to kill Harold since after all, he had been taking advantage of Wanayan for so long. If he killed the leader, it would be too cruel. Harold and his men knelt down and bowed their heads before Lu Shang. With a piercing expression, Lu Shang began to observe them and explained that now he finally understood why when the Supreme Martial Master appeared, those from the army knelt before him. If the very sky suddenly descended in front of you, you wouldn't be able to withstand the pressure and would choose to prostrate yourself, and now Lu Shang was the sky. This is the end of the video. If you guys want to see the next part, please subscribe our channel and like and share the video. Welcome to our channel. Within the space of dreams, everything was destroyed. The entire city was now in ruins due to the new attack that our boy had learned. He extended his hand and began to ponder silently. Not knowing who wanted to interrupt his training session, Lu Shang remained calm, and his attention was fixed on his hands. He could no longer keep hiding his power. But he was satisfied since he had enjoyed enough. During this year, he did not remember how much metal or illiquid he had absorbed or how many high-energy substances he had consumed. Lu Shang's eyes began to shine with confidence, and a smile appeared on his face. The Blood Master had been condensing and fragmenting ceaselessly. Immortal cells had grown frantically. And now their number had reached 183. Lu Shang began to use his power, making martial fire emerge from the palm of his hand. His attention fixed on it. He had 9 times more immortal cells than a year ago. Things had changed a lot. Before he could not face a martial saint, but now he was going to be able to kill them without problems. He began to imagine his body, with his heart shining intensely. His body had also reached its limit. The stellar patterns covered his entire body. If he wanted to continue obtaining more immortal cells, he needed to reach the 9th level and use the power of the great force of heaven and earth to break through the limitations of the current phase of the stellar immortal body. Lu Shang's eyes began to shine with calmness. He put his hand on his chin and started to ponder. Reaching level 9 was going to be a bit complicated since currently he couldn't even fully merge his essence, energy, and spirit into a single core. Much less could he construct the Dharma manifestation or create his own mark of the martial path. His accumulation was massively excessive. He began to imagine Martial Saint Chaoji dressed as a pizza maker. He clenched his fists and, with a serious gaze, started kneading the dough. Lu Shang observed him with a curious expression and made a comparison. For Chaoji, reaching level 9 was easy. He only had to gather 3 lumps of flour dough. Whereas our boy would have to work much harder. 3 giant suns at high temperatures surrounded by martial fire appeared in front of our boy. He had to compress 3 giant suns and fuse them into one without increasing its volume. It could be said that without flames of millions of degrees high temperature and pressure 100,000 times greater, it would be something completely impossible to achieve. Lu Shang's eyes filled with rage, causing him to clench his teeth and fist tightly. He began to gaze at his fist, and after thinking it over several times, he came to the conclusion that he needed pressure, an incomparable pressure. Only under an unprecedented high-pressure battle could he complete this step. But there was a problem. This type of pressure could not be provided by a simple martial saint. While he was deep in thought, something caught his attention, making him curious. When he looked to the side, He saw Lu Xier and Professor Nepson talking among themselves. The two seemed nervous. Lu Shang's gaze fixed on Nepson, and it didn't take long for him to realize that Nepson had reached his limit. This was the right moment to go out in search of some pressure because, after all, it was time to grant the devoted Nepson his ultimate dream, the arrival of a god. At the doors of the laboratory, someone launched a powerful burst of energy which hit the door directly. But the attack had no effect and the door remained intact. One of the men had fired a burst of energy with the help of an advanced weapon. They were furious to see that old Nepson was rebelling and had dared to activate the highest level defense mechanism. They were so furious that they swore to skin him alive. The bald man's eyes were full of rage and despair. A man with blue hair approached him, began observing him, and with a worried expression asked what to do now. Far from giving up, the bald man stood firm, and with a furious gaze decided to contact Mr. Harold, since only he had the key to the laboratory. She was sure that as soon as they obtained the key, they would be able to open the damn door. This made the eyes of the others begin to shine with hope. They clenched their fists and couldn't help but smile because they were determined to make Nepson pay for having scammed them. 10 minutes ago, two individuals surrounded by energy arrived on the island, landing in the mountains. The woman we saw earlier in the meeting room was also at the place. She placed her hands on her abdomen. And as the smoke was dispersing with a respectful she welcomed the lords, explaining that Marshal Saint Harold had already taken all the elite combat forces. Now only second-line forces remained. Someone wearing black boots stepped forward and praised the woman named Cadiz for having done a good job this time. Two men emerged, one of them was muscular, had vampire teeth and black angel wings. With an arrogant smile, he cracked his fingers, showing that he was ready. Next to him was a man with orange hair who was wearing sunglasses and calmly smoking a cigarette. The muscular man's eyes widened with joy. He couldn't help but smile since Lei's plan had worked. Lei began to walk toward him, extended his hand, and with a proud smile mentioned that the first collaboration between Darkstar and the Black Magic Society had been a complete success. And by the time Harold reacted, the entire Golden Ring Island would already be a pile of rubble. Recapping what had happened, in the assassination operation against the Marshall Street. Lushan, with a piercing expression, our boy had massacred everyone who stood in his way, causing more than half of the main members of the Black Magic Society to lose their lives. Instead of waiting for Ringmark and Darkstar to divide up the benefits in the battle for the crystals, it was better to take the initiative, attacking first and leaving Ringmark's main base in ruins. The additional gains could be split into a 20 minutes 80 portion with Darkstar, and this way, not only would losses be minimized, but even a small profit could be obtained. As for the news about the new energy crystal deposit, it was also intentionally leaked as part of the plan. The two men began to walk toward the mountains. And Lei decided it was time to completely destroy Ringmark's base. A wicked smile appeared on his face. His eyes were full of anticipation as he couldn't wait to see Harold's expression of anger and surprise when he returned and saw the rubble of the island. At the same time, inside the laboratory, Lucia went to the security room, and using her knowledge, she used the computer to activate the monitoring system. The life bar of the door was decreasing faster than before. Her attention was fixed on the screen, and with an uncertain gaze, she revealed that they had gone to look for the key that Lord Harold had, asking what to do now. While Lu Sheng was sleeping inside the capsule, Professor Nepson crossed his arms, closed his eyes, and began to think about what to do now since there wasn't much time. Lu Sheng continued sleeping and absorbing the metallary liquid. Nepson turned around and his attention focused on Lu Sheng. He started sweating and his eyes widened in desperation. He didn't know what to do since he had bet everything, and each time the heartbeat of the god grew stronger. Consumed by despair, Nepson knelt before Lu Sheng and began to pray, asking him to please wake up. Several minutes passed and Lu Sheng did not wake up. Nepson raised his head and started sweating like crazy. With a sincere expression, he asked God to reveal to the world the truths buried by time. The integrity bar of the defense system was dropping rapidly. It was now at 15%. Lu Sheng's eyes were full of worry. She approached Nepson, placed her hands on his shoulder, and with a concerned gaze, revealed that the protection shield's time was about to run out. Only 15% of the remaining time was left. Upon hearing this, Nepsun's eyes widened in surprise and fear, believing that all his effort had been for nothing and that everything was going to end here. But then, the crystal of the capsule began to crack, and upon feeling this, Lu Sheng's and Nepsun's attention focused on it. Both were open-mouthed and somewhat surprised. The crystal of the capsule broke into pieces, causing the liquid to spill outside. Lu Sheng, who had his eyes closed, slowly began to make movements, until several seconds later. He opened his eyes and started to show a penetrating gaze. With a calm expression, he extended his hand and began to use his power, making energy appear in the palm of his hand. He stepped out of the capsule and used the manifestation of energy, transforming the energy into clothing. With a smile, he began to walk toward Lucia and Nepsun. Their jaws dropped, and their gazes fixed on Lu Sheng, causing their eyes to widen in surprise upon seeing that the god had finally resurrected. Still with his mouth open, Nepsun approached Lu Sheng and welcomed him, revealing that now that the great god had awakened, his glory was going to illuminate the entire world. Lu Sheng walked past him, began observing him, and with a serene gaze praised Nepsun for having done a good job, revealing that he knew everything he had done for him. Nepsun clasped his hands together, and his eyes widened with joy. He couldn't help but smile and feel excited upon realizing he had been recognized by God, thinking that now his entire life had been worth it. Lu Sheng took out an energy crystal, and while holding it in his hand, he turned to Nepsun and asked with a smile if this thing was called an energy crystal. Nepsun and Lucia knelt before Lu Sheng as a sign of respect. While our boy was examining the energy crystal, Nepso N explained that it was a treasure valuable enough to drive a level 9 martial master crazy. Its energy was immensely powerful, and the small piece Lu Sheng held in his hands was equivalent to a small nuclear reactor. Lucia rested her hands on her knees and remained listening in astonishment, silently. Lu Sheng turned around and with a calm and grateful expression, thanked Nepsun for the explanation, and then put the energy crystal in his pocket. It was no wonder that he had gained 7 immortal cells at once. For him, energy crystals were something interesting. He decided to keep one as a sample. Lu Sheng approached the table, and while grabbing the phone, he thanked Nepsun for waking him from his lethargy. He planned to use the phone to send them a message. Nepsun and Lucia, who were still on their knees, became somewhat curious, and the professor mentioned that it was an honor for him, and also asked if they could know his name. Our boy grabbed the phone and after unlocking it, started writing a message, revealing that his name was Lu Sheng. Lucia's eyes filled with suspicion. She leaned toward Nepsun's ear and mentioned that this god was somewhat strange. Nepsun snapped out of his trance, turned to Lucia, and with a confused expression asked what she was talking about. As if using the phone wasn't suspicious enough, Lu Sheng also posed and took a selfie. Nepsun and Lucia's attention was fixed on him. She made it clear that Lu Sheng had nothing ancient about him, as he was even using a phone and taking selfies with total ease. She asked if a newly resurrected god would really know how to do this. Nepsun caught Lu Sheng's attention, filling his mind with curiosity. It didn't take long for him to realize that something strange was happening outside. His eyes began to shine with seriousness. He turned toward the door, and with a piercing gaze revealed that there were 2 level 9 martial masters massacring the martial artists, and another level 9 martial master was heading toward the island from very far away. Upon hearing this, Lucia and Nepsun couldn't help but go into shock. Both began to feel fear. Behind them was the laboratory door. At that moment, an alarm started to sound. Lucia activated her watch, causing a hologram to appear. One of the superiors informed Lucia about the bad news. The Second Royal Seal had betrayed the organization. Darkstar and the Black Magic Society had joined forces to attack Golden Ring Island, and all bearers of the Royal Seals and Monarch Seals had died in combat, urging her and Nepsun to escape quickly as the island was going to fall. Upon hearing this, Nepsun's eyes widened in fear. He couldn't believe this had happened. Lucia got nervous, and told Nepsun that they had to leave since they couldn't allow so many years of research to fall into the hands of the enemy. Nepsun's eyes were shining with determination. He turned towards her, asking why they should flee. He approached Lu Sheng, joined his hands and with a nervous and desperate expression, begged the holy god to save the island of the Golden Ring. Lu Sheng began to observe him with a curious expression in silence. Without wasting time, he started walking towards the laboratory exit, asking if this was Nepsun's first wish. The professor turned to Lu Sheng and his eyes widened in confusion. He was paralyzed, not knowing what to say. Our boy turned to him and with a confident expression promised to fulfill Nepsun's wish. This is the end of the video. If you guys want to see the next part, please subscribe our channel and like and share the video. Welcome to our channel.